Hello, wonderful food lovers and internet unknowns. Hi, my name is Coach Joycry, and I'm here to talk about POLOWFs, plants only, low oil whole foods. Plants only, low oil whole foods. This is my way of talking about the McDougal starch solution. And I share it with friends and family, and and people ask for more information, and I'm working on it, and this is a baby step towards having a full informational channel. So bear with me as I learn and grow and become better at this. And but the passion to share is here. So I just want to share with you a clip from Dr. McDougal on Chef AJ Live, which I highly recommend checking out, about how this diet is for everybody. And although people will say to me, it only works for you, it's not going to work for me. I have to have olive oil. I have to have oil in my food. I can't imagine eating without food, without oil in my food. Can I share a story now? Let me share the story about oil in my salad this week at work that I shared in the description after I play this bit here. So I'm going to share Dr. McDougal, and I'm learning how to do this. Dr. McDougal on Chef AJ Live called High Blood Pressure. It's More Than Just Salt with Dr. John McDougal. The title is even longer than that. It goes into plus the Ozempic rant. He always likes to rant about Ozempic. So I've added him, and here we go.
I would certainly convey to the person really what their options are. Does everybody, 100% of people, no exceptions, lose weight on the diet that the McDougal recommends? Yes.
Should we repeat?
Yes. And I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you by the general statement. There were no fat Asians, 2 billion people living in China, Japan, Vietnam, Thailand before 1980. Nobody. I can prove it to you. I can lock you up, put you in a cell, and I can give you a 2 or 3 or 4 or 14 baskets of potatoes every day
Cooked.
for as long as you want.
I think they'd be cooked, right?
And you show me on a bushel basket full of potatoes, which is all you need. It's got all the protein, vitamins, minerals, etc. Yeah, I'll give you a little B12 once a month.
A little.
You tell me that won't give you this a personal appearance better than gastric bypass surgery. It always works.
Always.
Anybody want to try it?
Always works. Well, there you go. There's the proof. So, yeah. It always works, but people are afraid to do it. And I think he means with a basket of potatoes, I think he means cooked potatoes. I don't think he means basket of potatoes that are not cooked. I don't know what you would do in a cell with a basket of potatoes that are not cooked. I think that would be what does happen? What would happen? You're starving and all you have is potatoes and they're not cooked. What are you gonna do? Like, do you think like, oh, I'm so hungry, but I'll wait till tomorrow and I'm gonna just put this in the warmest part of my body and I'm going to warm them up as best I can, like slow cook them for 10 hours at 95 degrees. I don't know how much the body, like we're 98 degrees. I'm 97, normally 97.6 is my average temperature. So you just put them like somewhere between your legs and you turn into a little ball and you cook them. That's how you survive this lockup. Great proof there, Dr. John, but it is a one size fits all. I am not a doctor. Sometimes I like to pretend to be one and it gets me into trouble. So I've changed to coach from doctor. But yeah. But the thing is, people are really afraid. They're so afraid to go off of high fat. They're afraid. We are so conditioned that life without butter or oil is deadly, is toxic, is dangerous, is actually almost like people are afraid to be around people who don't eat that way. I sometimes feel that way, like around my friends, like, oh, if I tell them how I eat, they're going to be like, don't invite her, keep her away. She doesn't eat oil. She doesn't eat butter. But I have a story to share from work this week because I have a job where I get fed Sometimes great, sometimes not great. I was on a TV show called Shrinking. It's a great show. I love it. It's on Apple Plus, and they had a great salad bar. And the kind of salad bar where the people who work there behind the counter, you point at what you want and they put it in a bowl and they make it for you. And I go, well, do you have just vinegar? And he's like, yeah, we have vinegar. And I was like, great. Okay, here's what I want. All the greens, all the veggies, except I don't like bell peppers. But anyway, all the veggies. I mean, it was a lot. It was everything. Kidney beans, mushrooms. I can't even name them all. Of course, corn, onion, artichoke. I mean, it was great. It was it was great. It was one of the greatest work salads. And I go, go, just vinegar. And he gets to the end and he dumps in olive oil. And I was like, he was like, yeah, and vinegar. And I was like, oh no, just vinegar. And he tossed it and gave it to me. And I tried, like, I didn't want to be too greedy. And I took a bite of it and I almost threw up. I like gagged in my mouth. Like, I've been on this diet for over a year now, and I slip and fall. And I'm going to talk about my slips and falls and what happens when I slip and fall. Like, I eat too many nuts, or sometimes I'll have some home baked goods that a friend made with love, and I'll have something like that, once in a while, and get a stomach ache, but it tastes delicious. This wasn't like a delicious homemade cookie that might make me sick. This was like a traditional salad. I used to love olive oil and vinegar, but now that I don't eat that way, olive oil was disgusting. It was like, who ruined this food? So even to prove this point, me and Dr. McDougal have a lot of facts. If I put you in a cell with 2 salads, one with olive oil and one without. Anyway, so I did the salad all over again. And I felt like, oh, I hope I don't get the same guy. I got a different guy, but I still felt really like, exact same amount of stuff, exact same lettuces. Nothing had been changed. Nothing had been like a new batch. There was nothing different. Exact same lettuces, exact same veggies. Boo, boo, boo. I want this and that. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And then he tosses that. I say, for sure, no oil, no oil. Instead of saying, do you have vinegar? No oil, no oil. What? Oh, just vinegar and some lemon. Maybe a dash of salt. One of the best salads of my work experience. Just delightful, delicious, just flavors from, I think, garbanzo beans, kidney beans. Like, oh, where do you get your protein? Oh. I got a lecture that day. Like, oh, it's dangerous to not eat meat. Maybe just for a short time. That's what somebody said to me on set. It's really dangerous. You can do it for a short time, but then after that, you're going to be in trouble. So where, why, how? And I so worry about the animals and everything like that, but I worry about the rivers and the dams and the clouds and they're cloud seeding here. They're putting toxic stuff in the air and going, it's safe. It's fine in small doses. They know in large doses what they're doing to the anyway, that's another subject. Again, I'm going to babble about subjects online. It's coming. I'm practicing. This is just baby steps. Hello. But one size fits all. And if you do try it, Dr. McDougal has a 12-day thing that you can do with them, hands-on, doctors and psychologists and everything. But if you do end up doing it and you get through the 2 weeks, I promise you, I promise. Let me just say, this is not mirrored. It's hard to brush my hair when I promise you will not miss oil. I 100% promise you will not miss oil. You will not miss it. When you could choose between food that has oil on it and food that doesn't, you will choose by your taste buds, by enjoyment, to not have that oil. And it's hard to believe now that a baked potato without butter tastes better than a baked potato with butter or sour cream. I promise. I promise. And you'll feel better and you'll live longer. That I can't promise, because planes could fall out of the sky and hit your house where you're hanging out. Like, you don't even have to get on a plane to die in a plane crash. That is like the way I look at life. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. So I can't promise that you're going to live longer, but I can promise that you're going to enjoy food more and you're going to feel better. And I know your cholesterol will drop. Some say that doesn't matter. It's really easier for me to stay on the diet because I have this enlarged aorta root that we're monitoring its growth, and it grew while I was doing the keto type of diet. And now that I've switched for over a year, it's a year and a month. Now that I've switched diets, it stopped growing. So I'm on it life or death, but I'm also on it because I love the taste of food. I don't want to participate in factory farming. I would eat a great grandpa cow that died on a farm surrounded by family. You know, I'm not opposed to natural food consumption, but I am opposed to the food industry's way of how animals are treated. You know, I do believe like natural ways of a farm could be like a little bit of the cow died of natural causes, and we might eat that. I have a joke about it somewhere in one of my stand-ups about a restaurant called Natural Causes, and each menu item is like an obituary reading, you know? But yeah, so I highly recommend checking it out. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you soon as this gets better and better.